Hello. Okay, let's test this out. Okay, so we come here. We basically got a couple projects here. So this is still kind of a work in progress, but basically you'd see like a little picture of your project, sort of like the last spot you were at. Right here you can come and create a new project. So I mean, this is relatively simple. You can create a 2D or 3D project, and yeah, relatively simple. This will pop open the folder. It's probably a little bit slow, just because I just started the computer. Come on, is this gonna work? Is this broken? Is that broken? That's weird. That's interesting. Oh, maybe this has to have something in it. So what if I just like type in something? And I come in here. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, well, whatever. So basically the idea is you can open up a project. Some of these might not load even because some of them are just kind of broken. Because essentially like these are old projects I used when I was basically building out the engine, right? So I mean there's just a lot of random stuff, but it's basically just me kind of testing everything out. Like here I can hit play. Cool, yeah, so I'm playing as this little guy, can jump around, cool, not really anything special. I can make him fall. Yeah, there he goes. So yeah, I don't know, kind of cool. You can just mess around. Kinda cool. And so what else do we have?
And the tall guy was talking to me about your bike down there. I think he liked it.
What did he say? This will crash 100%.
I asked him if like one of the things down there was for them or did it stay in our was it with us? Then he asked if the bike is for us or does it come with us too. I was like, oh.
What did he say about it?
He said, is the bike with you guys or does it come with us also?
Wow. Damn. Okay, that's nice. John, come look at this. Dude, doesn't this look nice? Like, I know it's not Unreal Engine. It's not like the brand new games you see. But like, look at this, dude. I did all this shit myself. This is nuts. Check this out. Wait. Let me take you to Sponza real quick. You ready? Oh, come here.
I'm looking.
I'm gonna take you to Sponza real quick. What is this one? Okay.
Do you still do this?
Sometimes. It's cool to come back to it, because it's just like, I did this whole fucking thing. But check this out. So all these right here are scenes. When I was building the engine, you know, I made a bunch of scenes just to test out everything. I mean, there's so much shit in here. Like, literally, I could spend, like, a whole week just going over all the features in here and how they all work and what they do and, like, when you should use them and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much stuff in here, you have to test out everything. So, check out this scene. Look at this. This is really nice. I think you've seen this before, but this is a super nice scene. It's a nice scene. And it's like, check this out, what I can do is like,
if
go on.
If these people finish, Jesse, would you want to go to Dad's today?
I don't know.
And then
I will probably just go on the weekend.
Just for a little bit and then come back.
We can probably just go on the weekend, I don't know.
You said you didn't want to go on the weekends.
That's fine. We'll just go.
So like tomorrow, because today's Friday.
Yeah. So here, look.
You said you have an interview?
Yeah, it's not till Monday. Come look. So like, you see this when I move the light around? Check out this down here. You see this, how that's lit up in here? You see how it's lit up in there? Right? See that?
Yeah. The heat at the Mahal isn't really good for the dog either. I don't know if Dad knows that.
And then here, so look at this too. So I can click on it, right? Put it a little bit closer, like right there. And then what I can do is just like switch this to whatever color I want, and it looks pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. And then so like I can have this one over here.
Yeah.
It's like pink.
See, I saw a Camry parked over there on like not too far away. Is that where you parked mine?
Wait, what? What did that? What?
Did you park my car next to this building here?
Yeah,
is
it's
it
right
in front
there.
of? Okay, I had it like next to the fucking clubhouse.
I brought it closer.
And dude, all these people, they keep parking their cars halfway, like in the right spot, so you can only park like 2 or 3 cars.
I know, they're retarded. They're retarded. But here, look. So
I bet someone probably hit mine after they saw how close I parked to theirs, because that's how much room they left me.
I give you a lot of space. But look, so I got this like pink light. I can hit Control D, and that'll duplicate it, right? So now I have another thing in the world. So like, check this out. I'll just move this one over, and now I got 2 pink lights. And now I can make this one like blue or something, or I don't know, orange. Let's do orange. There you go. Bunch of lights, and you can pretty much have as many of these as you want. That's the cool thing about this. You can have a ton of lights. You can make them whatever color you want.
Holy shit, just see.
I can't. What? Wow. Like, look at this. This is not cool. This is gay.
No.
No, like, this is sick. Look at this. Look at that. When was the last time you saw something like that?
In a Hollywood movie.
Right? But then, like, here, look at this too. So you see the like the environment here, like the outside.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of like at this big lake kind of thing. So pay attention too to how this kind of looks right now. Come on, trust me. This is nice. So we can go on to environment, and right under here we have something called skybox. Right? Come look. Come on. So we had the skybox. Should I make the font bigger? I can do that. I can make the font bigger if it's hard to read.
I see it.
But yeah, so under here we've got environment map. I don't know if you ever heard of something like that. But basically, check this out. I can go to right over here. This is going to take a second to load because there's a lot of them. But you'll see right here in a second we'll have all the environment maps. There's a lot, yeah. So it takes a second to load these, but check this out.
1 second.
So yeah, check this out. Look. So these are all the environment maps. Check this. I can make them really big so you can see them. But basically, it's like a panoramic image. You can kind of think of it like that. It's more like a 360 image, all packed into like a square, right? So yeah, I mean you can kind of tell when you see some of these the way they look. But so for example, which one should I put in? Which one do you like? This one? This one, the pink one. Do you like this one? The pink sky.
It looks purple to me, but yeah.
It's called Pink Sunrise. So. But whatever. Like, so you can just pick any one of these, right? I'll go ahead and do. Well, that's crazy. I put so much shit in here. So okay, what I'll do is I'll make this a little smaller, and we'll go with Pink Sunrise. So there it is. So we're gonna click on environment, right? Now check this out. I'm gonna back up here and go ahead and drop this in. Look at that. So totally different. It might be kind of hard to tell, but on the inside here, everything's a lot brighter, just because of the environment we're in. So for example, if I go back on environment, go to here, and we go somewhere else, look at the inside. You see? John, you totally missed it, bro. Look at the inside of this place. You see how the lighting looks in here?
Yeah.
Look at when I choose a different environment. What happens? Did you see that? You're looking at me, bro. Look at this. Look, when I go to a different place. You see that? Here. Didn't I have an easier way to do this? Create. I guess I don't. Okay. So we can go right here, create skybox, and we can go ahead and put that one in. Now check this out. So what I'm going to do is go to my content browser, and I'm going to go to my materials. This is perfect. Do I have anything like... okay. Let's just grab something. I'll put it on here. So now we have a material on our cube. Okay, now check this out. So look at this. We're going to make this look nice. Oh, look at that. 2 seconds. We have a mirror. Nice looking mirror. And I can do this. I can create another one. Check that out. We've already got shadows ready to go. We can just make this a little bigger. Look at that. This is already nicer than Unreal Engine. Yeah, this is nicer than Unreal. What else can we do? We've got music, obviously. We can do all kinds of physics shit. So, like, for example, this cube, I can turn it into a dynamic body and go back to my other cube. It's static, that's fine. Actually, what?
You know, Alan, he still owes me a drive.
Okay.
Do you remember, though?
So F2 to rename, we'll call this 4.
He drove my WRX and he said when I get better at driving, I can
Cube.
take his BMW out.
Wait, so we want
so you
to...
should let me drive his Audi.
I'll let him know. Alright,
kidding,
so look, check this out.
Next time I see him,
John.
I'm gonna tell him, like, you owe me a drive.
John, come check this out, okay? Trust me, this is sick. Okay? So look. So I'm gonna have you do this for me. So all you have to do is click the green one up here. Okay? Just click it. Click the button. The green one. And watch this. Green one. Hey, look at that. The shadows are a little bit fucked up. I could actually fix that. Watch, look at the shadows when it drops. Look at what happens. This is the type of shit you have to do when you're programming a game engine. Look at when it drops, there's a little gap in between the shadow and the cube. Look, did you see that? Look at that.
Yeah.
And you can actually see it right there. I have to fix the shadows, but we can do that in here, obviously. So we just go to skylight. We have to drop the shadow bias all the way down, and I'm pretty sure that's all you have to do. Right, so now if I check this out, much better. Just drop the shadow bias, right? Very easy. And now, like, check this out. Look. I can go to the skylight. I can up the shadow bias. Now we'll get some, like, funky looking shadows. 0.2, 0.3. Look at that. Zero. Pretty nice.
Maybe the wind closed it when they opened the door down there.
Okay.
Why?
I think they need help. I don't know.
Well, he's on the phone asking about, like, parts and stuff, so...
Yeah, they need other stuff, I think. And so obviously we
they
can
opened the door and then the wind pushed it closed.
do stuff like this too. Make this colored, right? And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, this thing looks pretty nice. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And so the other thing we could do is actually change this from being like metallic, okay? And now we can kind of make it look more like a plastic, right? And that's actually pretty cool, the kind of effect you get on it. So yeah, this looks pretty nice right now. Looks like this like plastic cube kind of thing. Yeah, there's so much shit. Like, holy fuck, man. So much shit to go through. So like, okay, if I go back to like where that light is, okay, thank you. Yeah, so we can start seeing some cool stuff going on here. We can change the roughness, which obviously just changes like how much light it reflects, and changing it from metallic to non-metallic is also pretty cool. You get some cool effects. So I mean, just changing these two things, roughness and metallic, you can get pretty much any look on anything. You can make it look shiny, you can make it look dull, you can make it look metallic, you can make it look like rubber. I mean, right, like you can do anything. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. What else can we do? So we can fuck with like, well, I can like just put like that on, which is kind of cool. So if you have a bunch of stuff in your scene, like for example, if I go back to maybe Sponza, or Sponza, if I go back to Sponza, okay, what I can do is put it on wireframe mode, and now, right, we're looking at Sponza, and basically we see all the geometry that actually makes up the scene, which is pretty cool. And then something even weirder, okay, notice how when we're looking at this thing right here, we can't see the edge, like the other side of it, right? We can only see it once we're like facing, once we're looking at it from this side, right? And the reason for that is because we have back face culling, right? So I can basically just turn this off and you'll see a lot more triangles in the scene. Pretty interesting, right? But actually lowering this makes it much faster because there's just less shit to render, which is pretty cool. So also, I mean, whenever you're looking at like a cube, for instance, you're only going to see 3 sides. You'll never see more than 3 sides of the cube. So you don't actually have to render like the backside because there's essentially no point, right? Like they're never going to see that side. So we can turn this back on, and yeah, I mean, I can, there's so much shit here, so much shit. I can fuck with like the shadows, right? So you can see the way the shadows look right now. They're pretty pixelated once you get really close, but I mean, this is kind of how all shadows are. But also, I'm not doing it the best way you possibly could, right? Like there's better ways to do it than just like PCF shadow mapping, but yeah. What we can do is like change the resolution of the shadow map. So if I basically want my game to run a little faster and I don't care about the shadows, I can kind of make them more pixelated, right? And I can actually go to where it looks like trash. But yeah, I mean, you can do stuff like this. Pretty interesting, right? And then like when you start moving something around, the shadows just look like retarded. But you know, it's fine. Because you can always just bump it up and then it looks pretty good, right? Pretty good. And then obviously, you know, we can like rotate it, and so I can like make it bigger and like rotate it and stuff. Obviously the shadows all work and everything. Yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. Very cool, man. This is so much work. And like, it basically was for nothing. I mean, I learned a lot. Absolutely, I learned a lot. But, kind of feels like it was for nothing. But I mean, like, it's cool to know that I can work on something like this, you know? I can work on like a huge scale app that does a shit ton of stuff. Like, there's so much shit in here. There's a ridiculous amount of shit in here. It's kind of insane. There's so much. The asset registry. So this is just a shit ton. This is basically like all the stuff we have in here. Like for example, the meshes, which are like the actual 3D models. These are actual files, like on disk, right? So yeah, like this thing, I can just open it up, on here, right, and it's an actual like file on disk, all of those are stored as assets within the engine, and obviously like I have a shit ton of them here. Yeah, there's a lot of assets there. That includes, you know, things like these, the environment maps, sound effects. Shaders are not actually included in there, but things like textures. So for example, if I create like a 2D quad, okay, so now I've got this little thing here, I can go ahead and drop, like basically just pick up and drag this thing on here, and then yeah, we get that, which looks pretty cool. Yeah. We can flex C++ on here, you know, we can do whatever we want, really. I can make this a little bigger. That looks better. Yeah, you know, we can flex some C++ 20, because that's what this engine's made with, you know. Top of the line. Top of the line shit. But yeah, you know, pretty cool. We can do all kinds of stuff on here. This one's actually... Yeah, I totally forgot about this. Okay, hang on. So if I just go to like a new scene, actually, that was stupid. Let's go back to Sponza. And oh, this is actually sick too. So I've actually got 2 cameras in here. So like while you're editing your game, right, I can have like one viewport over here, and I can have another viewport over here, right? Totally separate, which is pretty cool. The thing about this though is it makes it really slow, because we render the entire scene twice for 2 viewports, which is like really dumb. And I mean, you should do it once, right? And then you should have an image at the end of each frame, and then you just use that image and render that, instead of literally rendering the whole scene twice. Like, the computer's running hard. It's not good. It's pretty trash. But, yeah, what was I gonna do? Oh, so, if I create something here, we can actually change the opacity. Yeah, there we go. So now it's actually see-through. Oh, that's interesting. So, the material that we have is the default material right now. Okay, we have the default material on. So it will actually change everything else in the scene that has that material. So that's why we see the torus here and this cube. Oh, that was a little weird. Whoa. Okay, we found a bug. We found a bug. That's weird. But yeah, now they're see-through. Right? Pretty cool. Yeah, wow, there's some weird bugs in here. I have not seen that before. That's interesting. So that you can see the environment map only at like certain spots. That's not cool. Wow, yeah, that's kind of interesting too. So when you have the opacity down, you still see the shadow on there, which doesn't really look right. Yeah, like that just looks odd. That doesn't really look right. Yeah. So much shit to do. No depth test. This is broken, I know for a fact. Yeah. Well, what else do we have in here? Okay, this is broken. That's broken. Interesting. Shadow test. Interesting. I don't know what's going on here. Wow, yeah, see, this is... Yeah, no, that's... Wow, there's so much shit I have to do. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Yeah, there's a lot of work needs to be done here. until this thing is like ready. A lot of work needs to be done here. Wow, lots of work. Yeah. Lots of work. I can also just like mess with stuff like this. You know, there's so much shit in here. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. 2D view, yeah, so that will kind of lock you down. Hide gizmos, all this stuff. Selection mode, right? Bounding boxes. This is kind of cool sometimes. Colliders, all that kind of stuff. Grid. Maximize. Mute. Yeah. A lot of shit in here, man. There's so much stuff. Building, the scripting, obviously, that whole setup is ridiculous. Yeah. So, open solution. So, okay, yeah. That doesn't work just because this is the sandbox project. So, I mean, you could do that in another project. It would totally work. So, yeah, here's this project open. We can go to script and hit open solution. And this will open up basically your code for your project. Right? So, you can actually just start editing your project and just start working on it. It's very easy, right? So, very cool. Yeah, so this is actual like game code here. This is the actual code that runs when you're playing your game, which is pretty cool. And so, like for instance, I can come here and say log dot, I don't know, just like print, okay, and then we can just say like hello. Actually, we can do something a little cooler. We can say game started. Okay. Wow. All right. So cool. Now, what does this mean, right? Like, what is that? What the fuck did we just do? Well, basically, most game engines work like this. Generally, you will have something like this block of code here. Now basically what this does is whatever code that you put in between these curly braces here will run at the beginning of the game. Now literally, like, once the game starts, this code will run one time. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, you can do all sorts of things there. You can sort of set up your game, you know, do some things that need to be done before the game starts, but you can't necessarily do before it actually starts. So basically, as soon as runtime starts, this code starts. So yeah, this line here will basically like print out a little message for us. So, and all I have to do is hit F6, and we'll see that build succeeded, right? So now all I have to do is come back in here and go to my console, which is this little window here. It will kind of tell you what's going on with the engine, if there's any errors, and like all kinds of stuff like that, right? So the second I hit play, I get a message here that says game started, right? Pretty cool. And when I hit stop and like play again, you get the message again, right? Very cool. I can also just like do this a bunch, right? We'll see if that totally works. Right now I just have a bunch of messages here. What else can we do? Well, I mean, there's so much you can do here. From the coding side, there's a ridiculous amount of shit in here. Just to kind of give you an idea, we can go through Vortex and just check out like how much shit is in here, right? Like there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff I put in here. So I mean, it's built out, right? It's a built out engine. It's got a lot of stuff in it. Quite a lot, might I add. But yeah, holy shit, quaternions, bro. Oh my god, the biggest headache. biggest headache in the world. Quaternions. Submesh, text mesh, time, transform, vector. We even have like matrices and stuff. Right, don't I have those? Yeah, matrix 4. Why do I not have matrix 3? That's kind of weird. Yeah, I should have matrix 3. That's kind of weird, but whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of shit. So basically, like, you can do a lot through here. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. That's how the scripting works. Building. So this is pretty cool. Basically, the way this works is you have a couple settings you can change, basically for your actual game. Now, the way the engine works is you build your game in here, and then the engine will basically create an application for you that is your game, right? So basically the way this works, where did my window go? Thank you. So basically the way this works, you add scenes to your game, okay? This is basically how everything kind of works, right? So you'll have one scene that sort of leads into the next scene, which leads into the next, which leads into the next, right? And so your scenes connect each other, right? You can basically come here to your scenes and just drop one in, right? And it adds it to your scenes in your build. And now basically when you run your scene, you'll have some sort of point that transitions to the next scene. So this is basically how it's all done. It's all done right here inside the engine. And then we can go to this window tab and actually change, like, for instance, how big the window is. You can force it to be a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is kind of cool. You can also make it maximized. So that's obviously like fully maximized. We can turn off decorations on the window, which is basically just like the title bar up here. So if you want it maximized with the title bar, you can have that, or you can take out the title bar. It's totally up to you. And then obviously you can change it to not be resizable. Most games are resizable though, so I mean, you know, do what you want. But yeah. So for example, I'll leave it as decorated. We'll leave it as 1200 by 675, sure. And then what I can do is just hit build, and that will basically build the entire thing. And I can just hit build and run, and boom, there you go. Right? We are playing our game right here. So pretty cool, right? I can just like, well, that's kind of weird, but yeah, I can just like go full screen, and here we are, right? And the cool thing is, I'll just like die right here, but yeah, cool thing is, I can just come in here, right? Go on the player, for instance. Looks like we have default mesh here. Let's go ahead and add, sure, like this blue metal on there. That's fine. Do we have any environment maps? Looks like we do. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a skybox on here real quick. Doesn't really matter what. That's kind of interesting. Also, this was called blue metal. I don't know why it's orange. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So what we'll do is, oh yeah, the other thing, I had to change the shadow bias. Oh, it's already down. Wait, what? What is going on? Pre-filters at 128, environments at 512. Okay, why is that happening? Though, that's weird. That's very weird. Yeah, lots of bugs when you build a game engine. Don't you worry. But yeah, we can go to like a different environment here. Looks pretty cool. I don't know, I think I'll go with that one. Yeah, that one's kind of nice. So yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, what I was going to do was basically hit Control S. That saves it, and now all you got to do is just hit build and run. You can hit Control B to do that, and check it out. We're in our new game, right? Like it's that simple, right? Yeah, why are the shadows tripping the fuck out, dude? What the hell? Is it just... What? Dude, are you serious? There's like the tiniest gap. I mean, it's barely noticeable, but like I notice it, obviously. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little wild. Yeah. That's weird. That's weird. I'm gonna go ahead and just like fuck around here for a second. So let's go to... Sure, we can put the shiny one on there. What does that look like? Okay. Cool, that works. I'm actually not gonna have it super shiny. Yeah, I kinda want it like that. Not even like metal. Yeah, we can make it look like that. That's kinda cool. Yeah. There we go. So I got my nice ball here. Let's, I don't know, we'll make it green. Yeah, there we go. So I got my nice green ball. There we go. Okay, so I got my green ball here. Let's go ahead and switch this to dynamic as well. Okay, so now all I have to do is hit Control B. There's my ball, right? And now check this out. I can go... Oh, that's kind of interesting. Because I have a character controller, he'll just walk up the ball instead of like pushing it. That's kind of what I was expecting, but yes, we have a character controller, so he will actually just like walk up things that are kind of short, which is pretty cool. And he just like sticks on the side, which is also kind of interesting. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But that's what you get with a character controller, huh? So, okay, let's do something kind of fun. So what I'm gonna do is create a cube. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is have this bitch like a ramp. Okay, so this is gonna be our little ramp. Yeah, something like that. Okay. This is gonna be our little ramp. Okay, thank you. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. Perfect. Okay, and actually we'll make it pretty long. So now we got this cool ramp, which is actually pretty big. It's a massive ramp. Okay. Cool. Just bring it up a tad. Okay. So let's see here. Perfect. That works. So we've got our ramp. I'm gonna go ahead and rename it to ramp. Ramo. Okay, cool, Ramo. That's totally what I wanted. Ramp. Okay, jeez. Ramp. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is go to our environment. We'll actually drop the ramp under there, and then we'll go to, let's find this floor. I don't know which one. So I also don't have selecting working right now. It's like when you try and click on something, it doesn't really work. It does work for like these icons that you see in the scene, but as for like everything else, it does not right now, which is pretty annoying. But yeah, I do have to fix that. It did work at one point, but now it's broken. So yeah, so let's do a little something like that. Sure. And basically the idea is we're gonna take our sphere, okay, and just put it up there. Okay, cool, that works. And now we're just going to create a bunch of cubes. There's my cube, there it is. We're gonna make a bunch of cubes, okay, and what we're gonna do, sure. Yeah, we'll put that on. So we've got this red material, and now all I have to do is actually, well, yeah, no, it's fine. So we'll just make a bunch of these. Okay. Okay, that's a little annoying. Okay. So, boom. We're doing this. Okay. Alright, so real quick, just kind of threw that together. And now we'll be able to see some cool shit. So let's see what happens. Oh wow. There it is. Oh wow. That barely did anything. Oh, well, you know why. Okay, I'm actually a dumbass. These are supposed to be on dynamic. So I now have to change all of these to dynamic, which is annoying. Having multi-selection too would also be really nice at this point, because you wouldn't have to change all of them, you just change one. But yeah, a lot of things need to be worked on here. Lots of things. So okay, so that's it now. Yes. Okay, so it like fucking barely moved them. So what can we do? Because I want this to be a lot crazier than that. So what we can do is go to our sphere, okay, and come to our rigid body down here, which basically kind of handles the physics. And we can change the mass, right? So I can make the mass like 5 now instead of whatever it was before. And let's see what happens. Okay, now we got a nice little impact. Cool. We can just do like 50 and just let that bitch rip. And we can also turn down the drag. The drag is already down. Angular drag, we can turn that down. Max velocity, you can turn that shit up. Who gives a fuck? Max land, turn that shit up. Alright. Let's see what happens. Damn. Just absolutely blew through those bitches, bro. Damn. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, it's lit. It's fucking lit. I wonder if we can go up this. Yeah, we probably can. Yeah, see, look at that shit. The shadows are retarded. There's something wrong with my shadows, dude. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it at all. That's annoying as fuck. That's annoying as fuck, dude. Seriously? Well, nice. Cool thing is, yeah, we can also just like play it right here and just like watch the ball. Yeah, look at my shadows, dude. What is up with my shadows, bro? That's so annoying. Literally, that's so annoying, dude. What the fuck? My shadows. Oh, my shadows, man. That's really annoying. Oh yeah, this is cool too. So we can actually like reload shaders on the fly, which is pretty dope. So like you can go edit your shader and just like come and reload it here, and you would see the difference, which is pretty cool. Shadow maps. That's also kind of interesting, right? So basically what we're looking at here is the point of view of the scene from this, right? And that's basically how we determine what these shadows should look like, right? So you'll see if I just click on this and start moving it around, you'll see that shadow map, right, is obviously changing. And the shadows are obviously different, right? So this is kind of how it works. You basically have to look at the scene from the point of view of the light to figure out where the shadows are. So yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool. Yeah. Yup. So like, what else can we do? I mean, there's so much. AI nav mesh agent. I haven't worked on this that much, but I mean, it kind of works. So basically, the idea is, let's say you wanted like an AI to walk in a certain direction or like walk to a certain place, right? You can basically do that. So basically what you do is, let's say you have like an enemy, right, like across the room, and there's like some obstacles he has to dodge. You can basically set up this like path for him to walk on, and he will only walk on that path in like the direction that you want, right? So that's kind of cool. That stuff is pretty complicated and kind of a bitch to get right, but it kind of works. Audio, there's still a lot to be done in the audio department, because I mean, like, shit, last time I checked the code, I think that's what I was working on, was the audio, and that's kind of why I stopped, because the audio is so fucking hard that I just like needed a fucking break, dude. I just like seriously needed a break from the shit, because audio is such a pain in the fucking ass that it's like, it's just not even worth it, bro. Like, it's literally just not even worth it. Like, where... Yeah, like, what the fuck? Why do I have so many fucking files in my audio folder? Like, does audio need to be that complicated? Like, fuck, dude. And each one of these has, like, all kinds of shit in it. So Audio Engine is basically like the back end for the engine. Essentially, that kind of sounds weird, but the Audio Engine is the engine for the audio. Yeah, that totally makes sense. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you have to do with audio, which is like really fucking annoying. You see a lot of the code I'm just kind of repeating. I have these asserts everywhere. Like, if I highlighted it, it'll show you I have the exact same line in like all of these functions, which is pretty stupid. But hey, you know, this is the type of shit you gotta do. So we've also got the audio listener, which uses the playback device. So playback device is also kind of the back end to an audio source. So if we actually check out audio source, we will see that here under private, we've got a playback device, which is actually a member of the class, right? So playback device is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's your playback device, right? Your speakers, your headphones, whatever it is, or, you know, whatever's on the computer or the monitor, whatever it is, right? We have an audio clip, which is what it sounds like, the audio clip. And obviously we've got playback device properties right now. So this is basically just the properties of your system, your, you know, whatever you got, your speakers, your headphones. So for example, we can just like check out a couple things here. You can set the position of a sound. You can set the direction of a sound. You can set the velocity of a sound. So you can have a sound like in the corner of a room, and have it like facing towards you, and like make you kind of drawn towards it, right? You can set a cone, right? So you can have this idea of like a big cone of sound, a small cone of sound, and you can adjust basically how far that cone goes, how what's the minimum and maximum of that cone, all this kind of stuff. Minimum and maximum gain, so I kind of forgot how this stuff works, but it basically just, it's all kinds of shit you can change with like the sound and stuff. So attenuation model, this is not very important, but of course you can do all kinds of stuff like this. Fall off, minimum, maximum distance. You can set the pitch, you can set the Doppler effect. Doppler factor. You can obviously set the volume. You can set spatialized. So if you have some kind of background music, usually you don't want it to be like spatialized sound, where it sounds like it's in 3D. You usually don't want that, right? So you can obviously turn that off. You can have a sound looping. You can have a sound play basically right when the game starts or the scene starts. You can have a sound play really fast. That's what this play one shot is. It will just load the sound, play it, and free it immediately. Well, I think it actually preloads the sound. It'll like preload the sound once, and then once the sound is already loaded, you just play one shot and you can play it really fast. So if you have gunshots, for example, play one shot needs to be used for gunshots because you want to have a bunch of continuous sounds, right? You're going to have bang, 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 a bunch of continuous sounds one after another, and they're actually overlapping each other. So if you try to play a regular, if you try to do it without one shot, you would just have one sound play, it would stop, the next sound would play, it would stop, the next sound would play. So playing one shot allows you to basically overlap them. And just do like bang, 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 bang. You can do a lot of sounds really fast. So that's how that works. Yeah, man. Yeah, this engine is insane. Kind of can't believe sometimes that I really made this whole thing, but yeah, I did it. So script registry is probably the biggest file in the whole engine. It's a lot of code. It is quite a lot of code. But basically what all this does is it's the back end between all that other code I showed you earlier. So basically the only way that you're able to program your game is because I've done all this work up front, right? So you can actually program your game and have it do whatever you want because I have all this functionality built in. So yeah, there's quite a lot of shit here. Quite a lot. $8,000 lines or so of just raw fucking C++. Yeah. Lots of bugs were made in this file right here. Lots of bugs were made here. Yeah, it still gives me nightmares. But yeah, and just to kind of give you a size, just so you can kind of see how big the engine is. I'll just open like all the folders here, just so we can kind of see like what, why is this thing so big? Test box or test bed doesn't really matter. Yeah, like why is this engine so big? Why is there so much shit in it? Why does it need to be this big? Do you really need all this stuff to make a game engine? I mean, look at the renderer folder. Okay, there's so much shit in here. Good luck. Okay, good luck trying to understand how this works, because I can barely understand it, and I'm the one who made it. So yeah, good fucking luck trying to understand my renderer. I've got a bunch of commented out code here, which isn't good, but I mean, some of the stuff does not work right now, so yeah, that's kind of how it is sometimes. Kind of rough. We've got the renderer 2D as well. All kinds of shit in here. Yeah, renderers are really fun to work on, honestly. They are pretty fun to work on. But also very time consuming and just like it gets nuts. It gets nuts, man. So project, platform, so yeah, it says like Windows, OpenGL stuff, all right here, all your OpenGL shit. MIDI audio, so all the audio stuff we need. It's not really that much. 70 lines of code, not really a big deal. DirectX, which I also worked on for a while, which kind of works. It's not up to as par as OpenGL in the engine yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Physics, there's quite a lot that goes on with physics. Physics is no joke. Okay, it's a lot of pretty serious code. Like, you fuck up one little thing, your physics is going to be fucked up. And I've been there, done that. So, yeah, I know how much of a bitch this is. And I'm glad I'm done with it, right? Like, my physics works. I don't have to fuck with that much. But yeah, like, eventually I will. We'll definitely need to. 2D physics as well. Right, so we've got 2D and 3D physics. The 2D physics is much simpler than 3D. It's like 300 lines versus like the main file here for the physics is like 1100 lines. So that's 3D physics for you. You know, always some fun stuff. So editor, debug, core, threading, math, input, ref count, audio, asset, animation, AI. So, okay, that is all of the code for the engine. That is all of it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of code. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alrighty. I'm done. I'm done with this shit.